We are live and ready to go here. I didn't realize the microphone was on, so hopefully you caught us saying all the nice things about DGF. So. My name is Mike Mason. Eric will have the play-by-play for you tonight. I'm here working camera and scoreboard. We have number 2 out of 8AA North, the DGF Rebels, versus number 3 out of 8AA South, the Barnesville Trojans. Eric, what do you know about this game today?
Well, it should be a good one. You talked about the rankings right there, looking at 2 pretty evenly matched teams, I'd say. Taking a look at their records, Barnesville's conference record 4-4 in the Hardo Lakes Conference, looking at 7-4 overall. The DGF not far behind. They are 3-4 in the conference and 6-4 overall, so very similar records there. Also, the first time these 2 teams have met so far this year. They play today, obviously, and then also the last game of the regular season, going to be looking ahead at Thursday, March 18th. So definitely some unfamiliarity, I suppose, if you will, between these 2 conference foes, and should be a game with massive implications on the Hardo Lakes Conference as we start winding down and nearing postseason and tournament time for these 2 teams. Let's take a look at some players to watch now for these 2 teams. Taking a look at Barnesville first, the home team. Got to watch out for is the guard number 2, Jack Nielsen. A few games ago, taking a look at my scorebook, me and Mike. Their game against East Grand Forks, Jack Nielsen had 19 points. He's been a good player for them all season long, been scoring a lot. I've seen him a fair amount too, doing some games here at Barnesville. Really impressed me with his shooting ability and his ability to take it inside. And for DGF, keep an eye out on number 20, Justin Wang. He plays forward. He's only 5'11", so a bit undersized at the forward position, but definitely been hearing a lot of great things about him. My partner Mike himself said that he's been known to do some damage, and he definitely stood out last season watching him too. Yeah. Now a year older, a senior, could be seeing a big night from him tonight as well.
Yeah, and as you mentioned a moment ago, we're nearing that end of the regular season, and I just like literally seconds ago got the dates and times for the section tournaments. For the girls, a pigtail game will be played on March 15th, and then that moved us to a playing game on March 17th, and then the quarterfinals will be on March 19th, the semifinals on March 23rd, and then the section final at a neutral site on March 25th. So the pigtail, the play-in, and the quarterfinal and the semifinal games will all be at the host team of the higher seed of the 2 teams playing in that matchup, and then the section final will move to a neutral site. So those are the dates for the girls. For the boys, a pigtail game on March 15th, a play-in game on March 18th, the quarterfinal on March 20th, the semifinal on March 24th, all of those at the home site of the higher venue, and then the section final for the boys will be on March 26th at a neutral site that is yet to be determined. So we still got a couple question marks in there, but we have far less question marks than we did 24 hours ago as far as what's happening. What I can tell you is right now Barnesville sitting at number 3 on the boys' side in Hardo Lakes Conference. The girls sitting at number 4. I believe they're both number 4 in the section. 3-4 in Hardo Lakes and number 4 in 8AA section, if I'm not mistaken. And if they stay at 4 or higher, then both the boys and girls will host a home game, and we'll have those games live for you here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network whenever the opponent is determined. Now, if either of the 2 teams happen to slip below 4, then they would go and play on the road, and we'd have to make some phone calls and arrangements to see if we are able to go and broadcast the road games. And we will certainly do everything we can to make the road games possible, but we can only promise and guarantee the home games. So that's an update for you on the postseason action that could likely occur here for both the girls and the boys on the Barnesville Trojan side.
Well, right on you are there. One thing that's not a question mark for sure, it is a great time to be a basketball fan this time of year. Definitely got a lot of great games going on. Want to talk about great games? Well, how about the 2 games we just saw here at Barnesville? You're talking about the C game and the JV game going on at the same time here. And I believe you said the C game was a 2-point game. The JV game was a 1-point game. So if we're going to stick with that pattern here,
we're going to have a 0-point game.
A 0-point game, or maybe some overtime on our hands here. But the bar has definitely been set, and we should be in for another treat here tonight. As I mentioned earlier, these 2 teams very evenly matched. They've been playing some good and exciting to watch basketball over this season so far, and I can only imagine that we're going to be in for another great game here tonight.
When I was setting up the broadcast today, actually, I had a fluke in our system where the score was 0-0 in double overtime. So maybe I should have just kept that. Who knows? But no, I'm sure we'll see some points before overtime if overtime happens as we hit inside a minute. National anthem on the horizon here. Your starting lineups around the corner as well. And as soon as the national anthem occurs, we'll take a commercial break unless that is sung by a student or individual. Then we'll keep it live. But if it's played by a recording that's played, we'll take a break for the national anthem. Right now, we'll send it down to our PA announcer, and well, actually, I'll give it to you, Eric, until our PA announcer has some words to say, I guess. So.
Well, it's funny you mentioned players or just people in general singing the national anthem. Something I've noticed a lot at Barnesville, at least as far as the girls' games go, is they usually have a few of their own players sing the national anthem, which is definitely a nice little touch right there. I think that's awesome. That's something that you definitely don't see every day. I'll be interested to see. Never before have I seen really so much intrigue about a national anthem, but we'll see what unfolds here.
Here's our PA announcer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Barnesville High School for tonight's game featuring the Dilworth, Glyndon, Felton Rebels and your Barnesville Trojans. Students, parents, teachers, and administration would like to extend a warm welcome to our friends from DGF. Please refrain from walking on or across the court before, during, and after the event. For everyone's safety, masks must be worn at all times within the school. Social distancing guidelines must be followed at all times with the exception of immediate family members. At the conclusion of tonight's contest, we ask that you immediately exit the gym. Following these guidelines will allow us to have spectators at our events and give our athletes and coaches a chance to complete their seasons. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you rise if you are able, remove any headwear, and face our nation's flag as we play our national anthem.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Well, there you have it. There's the national anthem right there. I'm sure as you can probably use some inference skills right there. No one's singing it, so we had to cut away for copyright reasons. But now we're going to be ready to get to some basketball here. Looks like we're going to be having the starting lineups on our hands.
Pronunciation experts from DGF, Mason Sheely and Abby Ordine for helping me over the pronunciations.
That's usually something I say in my broadcast. I've never heard the PA announcer say that.
Starting in guard, a 6'2" and senior, number 3, Ian Nicholson. At guard, 6'6" sophomore, number 10, Owen Leach. At guard, 5'8" senior, number 12, Colby Schreiber. At forward, 5'11" senior, number 20, Justin Wang. And at forward, a 6'1" junior, number 33, Logan Victor. Head coach of the Rebels, Mike Clark. Assistant coaches, Ronnie Strand and Ethan Leach.
That's your starters for DGF, and now for the Barnesville Trojans. And good news for Trojan fans, it looks like Adam Tonsfeld is suited up today. He was out in the last game as he rolled his ankle last week against Pearl. But he is on the bench, and it looks like he's scooting over to get his name announced.
Back forward to junior number 4, Cam Hayes. And our senior number 5, Adam Thompson. And forward to junior number 12, Noah Brown. And the post, the 6'3" junior number 24, Hayden Simpson.
Well, there you are, right on right there. Looks like Tonsfeld going to be getting the start, and boy, he's going to be a massive boost for this Trojans team. He can really score the rock. Last time I was here, he got player of the game. He can shoot, and he can shoot from deep as well. He's a threat to pull it pretty much as soon as he crosses the logo. I've seen him hit a few from the volleyball line before.
Oh yeah, he can hit that deep three, no doubt about it.
Definitely going to be someone that DGF is going to have to close out on tonight. Crowd on their feet here at Barnesville. Looks like we're ready for the opening tip. Looks like it's going to be Leach going against Zenzen. Two bigs going to be battling at down low. That's going to be a matchup to watch for sure as well. Caden Zenzen, want to talk about a great player, consistently scoring in double figures and gobbling up rebound after rebound for this Trojans team as well. Definitely an engine for this team. And referee's getting sorted out, and jump ball is up, and we are underway here at Barnesville High School, and it's going to be Barnesville winning the tip. So we'll get it started up with Tonsfeld up at the top of the key. Out to Kraus. Feed inside Zenzen now. There's that matchup I was talking about. He'll kick it out to Tonsfeld. Kraus off the dribble, gonna take it inside. Nice defense right there. Looks like Leach on the contest, but a second effort. And Caden Zenzen with the first bucket of the night.
And watch out for him. He started out hot against EGF. He had 16 points in the first half, and he was just electric inside the paint there. We'll see if he can do that again. And I also noticed that Cam Hang, number 4, is getting the start. He got the start against EGF. I don't think he started in any games that I've been in attendance for here at Barnesville prior to that. So,
yeah, usually a bit of a spark off the bench, but it looks like Coach Suter going to be switching it up a little bit here. Going up in this big game, be excited to see what Hang can bring as a starter. We've seen him make a lot of great plays off the bench.
As Caden Zenzen will leap up and grab the interception there. Get the turnover for Barnesville.
Now back with Kraus. Tonsfeld on the perimeter. Swinging it out, here's Hang. Back with Hang. Good passing here by Barnesville, moving that ball around. Looking for an opening though. Rebels not really giving an inch on defense right now. Tough take inside by Kraus. That one rattles in and out. Referee blowing his whistle. And we're going to have our first foul of the game.
Foul on the Trojans, number 24.
And he's going to be going against Zenzen, the guilty party there. That's his first personal, first team. And DGF will take it over with Schreiber running point.
Once again, I want to welcome all of our DGF fans, whether you're watching on Magnitude or if you're watching on the DGF YouTube channel. We are simulcasting this game to your DGF YouTube channel as well.
Nice take right there, Ian Mickelson. Tie game in our hands. Nice little reverse layup off the glass, easy as you like.
That's our first tie of the game at 2-2.
Well, you talked about, speaking of ties, that last game, I believe there was, if my memory serves me correct, only 1 or 0 ties in that game. You want to talk about a game that came down to the wire. I think DGF got their first lead with 8 seconds left.
Yes, you're correct. I believe they tied it, if memory serves me correctly, at 44-44 or something like that. And then they would eventually hit that 3 with 8 seconds left to take the first and only lead of the game, and that'd be the final lead change of the game too.
An instant classic in the JV action.
That game, along with the C-Team game, available for 24/7 replay as Zenzen drives it up and in.
And can see, I think the referees looks to be around the same crew, if my memory serves me correct. Should be the same crew as the game before, and great crew referees right here. They're going to let the boys play as a jump ball is called right there. Talk about, we've seen some physical basketball from both these teams, and I think that's going to suit them well here in this one. Off the inbound now, here's DGF. Swinging it all the way out to Schreiber. Off the dribble, Kobe Schreiber falling down. Impressive to get it near the rim right there. That was a tough angle to get a shot off. But regardless, he's going to be going to the line and shooting two. That's already 2 on Zenzen, so that'll be something to keep an eye out on. Certainly not someone you want seen in foul trouble if you're Barnesville.
Roster is Colby at 5'8", looking out the court. He looks more like 5'5", probably. So a little bit shorter than that. May have given him an extra couple inches on the roster for height there.
Yes, the classic being a good day for your height when you're getting measured. See that a lot at every level of basketball. Feed inside, Zenzen off the underside of the backboard right there as the referee blows his whistle. Foul's going to be going against Justin Wang, so that'll be his first personal and the first team as well. And it's going to be Zenzen going to the line shooting 2, and he's already got 4. And make that 5 after that first make. All 5 points for the Trojans coming from number 24, Zenzen, and make that 6 as well. And he'll get a breather as Tate Inninger going to come into the game, and boy, was he impressive during the JV game. A lot of offensive rebounds for him. Definitely a force to be reckoned with down low. 6-3 your score as Wang lays it off. Now back with Logan Bitker now as defense swarming him. Nice find with Wang down low, can't quite get it to go. Gets his own miss though, and still working down low. And there's Inninger on the board.
Talk about nice hustle there, and you know, the basket didn't go for him. That's about the only thing that went wrong on that particular effort there.
Right on. That's definitely something, if you're a coach, you love seeing that, just scratching and clawing and fighting down low as Tonsfeld takes it inside, and that's his first 2 points on the night. So a hot start for him in his first game back in action after that injury, and that's definitely a good sight if you're the Trojans. Off the dribble, Leach. Off the mark right there, good offensive board, and that one's up and in. Logan Bitker, his first 2 points.
And that time it went in. That was similar to the last time down the trip there, but last time it didn't go in, this time it did, and it pulls the Rebels within 3.
There you go. Definitely can't be getting discouraged on those offensive boards. They're going to fall. You just got to keep going. And case in point right there. Tonsfeld off the mark with his 3 right there. Leach grabbing the rebound, and he'll bring it up. Leach turnaround trying to go all the way. Can't quite get the bounce. Good hustle from Wang for the offensive board, and there's another one for DGF. 3 ball. That one just a bit too strong off the back iron. So definitely want to talk about the rebound battle. Coaches say a lot of times that is a good precursor for who might win the game. Well, DGF is down right now, albeit only 3 points, but they are certainly winning the battle on the glass. Here's Tonsfeld. Laying it off, Jack Nielsen. Nielsen with a block, and they're going to get a foul. And Owen Leach not exactly happy about that call. He looked to be in disbelief. But regardless, they're going to get him for that.
It looked like he at least got 99% ball on that one, but he must have got 1% hand on it too.
And oftentimes, even if it is just that 1%, it's right where the ref can see it. And I think that might have been the case right there as Nielsen hits his first free throw. And 1 more to come. And he got it, so 2 points for Nielsen from the line right there, and it's now 10-5. Barnesville doubling up DGF early here. 5-point game. Open 3, that one off the mark, and another offensive board. Nice feed inside and good patience hanging down low, and Owen Leach getting the bucket, his first 2.
Well, I told you that might be a guy you want to keep your eyes on, and it turns out so far so good for Owen Leach.
Right on. He's been making a lot of plays all over the court as that one goes over and back. And just like that, it's a one-possession game, and the Rebels get the ball back.
Chance to tie here, and well, we saw this in the JV game. Every time the Rebels got within 2, Barnesville would respond. We'll see if the varsity team can close the gap sooner than later.
Yeah, you want to talk about just great persistence from DGF in that JV game as down low Bittker getting a second bucket to fall. And it's a 1-point game now as Tonsfeld brings it up.
This possession huge for Barnesville. They got to get a basket on this trip down the floor. And they will.
Got it. And there's Cam Hang right there giving that spark as he rattles in the mid-range jumper.
And now you can say the exact same thing for DGF. They need a hopefully not turnover there and get a basket this time down the floor.
100%. Basketball is a game of momentum changes, and it'll be interesting to see here who can get out on a run maybe in the first half, make a statement.
Once again, broadcast coverage brought to you by Barnesville. Check that. Midwest Bank in Barnesville is what I was trying to say, not Barnesville Bank. And then Dean's Bulk Service. There's some B's in there somewhere.
Absolutely. I'd like to thank our sponsors. Without your contributions, none of this would be possible. As that ball's going out of bounds, so Barnesville going to be getting the basketball back. So DGF not quite able to cash in on that possession as a foul's called. Kraus driving to the basket. And it looks like he's going to be going to the line and shooting 2 here. It's going to be the first on Drew Sheely. Kraus hitting his first. That's his first point on the night. 13-9 with a chance to make it 14 here, and he does. Good free throw shooting so far. Count up 6 for 6 from the free throw line so far. If you're Barnesville, want to knock on wood. Hope I didn't jinx that for the Trojans. But
well, I was just going to ask you if they had missed one yet, and then you answered the question before I could ask it. So
definitely solid fundamentals from the charity stripe. DGF looking for a bucket. That's a deep 3, and it rattles in. Shooter's bounce right there. Owen Leach. That's why you got to put a little English on the ball right there. You talk about, people might say that's a lucky bounce, but you're more often than not going to get that bounce if you have good fundamentals, and a nice answer right there from Ittinger.
Yeah, to elaborate more on that point there, Eric, a person who plays pool would call a pool shark. I would say it's a basketball shark right there.
That's a great comparison.
I don't know, that kind of looked like a travel to me. I don't know if it happened before or after the contact, but
yeah, that's definitely a bang call right there. I definitely don't envy the referee having to make that call, but they're gonna say that it's gonna be here with the Rebels. Once again, talked about this a lot in the JV game, but almost yet another charge for Barnesville right there as Leach's jumper off the mark.
Ittinger nearly had it stolen from him, but lucky enough to keep possession. Now Barnesville with a chance at a shot. They got it.
Cam Hang off to a nice start. Mentioned earlier in pregame, not often we see him in the starting lineup, at least from what we've seen and covered so far with Barnesville, but doing a good job so far. And nice steal right there. Barnesville in transition. How about the layup? We talked about the shooting of Tonsfeld, and a very underrated aspect of his game is he's just so slippery and almost slithery when he gets to the basket. Does a great job of avoiding contact. He's not the biggest guy out there, but does a great job of avoiding contact and not afraid to take it inside.
Yeah, it's you can see him do that 100 times and not get tired of seeing him do it. Yeah. I mean, he just does it so flawlessly and fluently, and it's good to see some good basketball from these young kids out here.
Absolutely, definitely one of the many players on both these teams that have just been a joy to watch so far. First free throw up and good from Leach. That puts him at 6 early on, and I think he might be right on. Leach has definitely been the man to watch so far, been leading the scoring for the Rebels. And he's got another one right there, so make it 7 for him early on in the first half. And it's 20-14, so he's got half the points for the Rebels so far. Inninger out in the corner. Now he'll lay it off. Nielsen. Now it's Tonsfeld, and he'll reset up top. Pass nearly looked like it might have been stolen away there almost by Mason Kerr. Might just been a half a step too early. Barnesville's gonna stick with it now as Inninger has it down low. Good ball movement on this possession. Once again, talk about battle of ball movement as nearly again Kerr getting the steal. Tonsfeld will try a 3. That one getting tipped around, and referee gonna say it stays here with Barnesville.
Now, Barnesville doing a really good job against that 2-3 zone defense that the Rebels are playing right now. They've been forcing Barnesville to shoot from the outside. The only downside is they've been able to connect on a couple of important shots, and then the 1 or 2 times they have been able to sneak it into the paint and convert as well. And that's pretty much the difference in this 6-point ball game right now.
There you go, right on cue. Tonsfeld hitting a 3. So a hot start for him. Count up 7 for Tonsfeld. And it's up to a 9-point game now, 23-14, the Trojans leading. Here's Wang. Laying it off to Sheely. Looking around, back with Wang now. Trying to find an opening is DGF. It's Bitker kicking it out. 3 ball on the way from Mickelson, and a nice answer. Ian Mickelson hitting the second 3 of the night for DGF. And that was a big one right there if you're the Rebels. Kraus kicking it out. Back to Tonsfeld in the corner. He'll take it inside. Can't quite get that one to go, and tipping it around. Nice effort on the offensive glass from Tonsfeld. Inninger with the board, and I think
we have a foul on Barnesville here.
I think you're correct.
Oh, no, it is on the Rebels. Okay. From my vantage point, it kind of looked like a foul on Tate Inninger, but
that's what I was thinking too.
But the official disagreed with us, and we respect his disagreement.
Absolutely. It's going to be the second on Wang here, the 4th on the Rebels as Kraus tries a 3, nearly banks it in. And rebound goes out to Altobelli. Now here is Altobelli. Deep 3 on the way, straight away. It looked to be about the right amount of speed on it, but just a bit to the left right there.
Yeah.
And there's a foul on Inninger, so we might have just spoke a little bit too soon.
Maybe we should stop speaking. I don't know. Seem to be calling things in advance frequently today.
Yeah. Bitker hitting his first free throw. That puts him at 5 on the night now. Then a solid score for the Rebels. And speaking of 5, it's a 5-point game here. As some substitutions are made, players checking in and out. And one more to come from the line for Logan Bitker. And that one rattles in and out. Rebound goes out to Hang. Here's Tonsfeld. Out in the corner now near the baseline, taking it inside off the glass and in. Tate Inninger with a nice move. Old school bucket down low. Leach off the dribble. That one off the mark. Hang the board. And now here that's DGF in that zone once again. And you can see they're playing a little bit higher now, really respecting that perimeter shooting of Barnesville. They've been hurt a few times with the 3-ball. Not only the 3-ball, but a few deep 2s, a little bit of mid-range action from Cam Hang as well. So talk about the risky run, as you mentioned earlier, as a nice block.
That was pretty impressive.
Logan Bitker sending that one off the wall right there. It's going to stay here with Barnesville. Tonsfeld will inbound. They'll feed it inside. And Inninger is going to be going to the line and shooting too. To the point I was mentioning earlier, you mentioned the risky run is you can get hurt by that jump shot. Barnesville is certainly a pretty good jump shooting team. You talk about they could definitely hurt you inside, but they've been making them pay with not only three-pointers, but a few mid-rangers as well as Inninger hits the first.
Well, the bad news for DGF is any shot within 25 feet has a good chance of going in for Barnesville. I mean, their shooters are that good.
Yeah. Definitely have a good mix of, I'd say, a few old school players and a few modern players as well with the way they can shoot the basketball, but also just work you down low.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're 5'5" or 6'4", they can get to the glass and get those hoops up and in too.
Yeah. Back with DGF now.
Oh, that's a travel.
That's going to be a travel.
Yep, I saw that. I saw that all the way. Sometimes I call those before the whistle blows.
Yeah. And if it wasn't a travel, it might have been a charge as well, as you saw a Trojan hitting the deck, and it looked like, tough to tell if his feet were fully set or not, but it looked to be from here that he was outside the restricted area, but that point is moot. And good job by the Rebels right there to force a turnover out of that, so they'll get the basketball back, no damage done, and have a chance to maybe cut into this 9-point lead here as we approach the 6-minute mark here of this game. Nice feed inside right there to Leach, and off the window and in. Tonsfeld. Out in the corner with Kraus. And he'll kick it back out. Nice little give and go. Tonsfeld a little bit short on the three, and a nice rebound rustled away right there by Bitker.
That was an important defensive board too. You don't want to give Barnesville second chance points when you're trailing by 7. Come back and hopefully get a bucket and cut it to a 5-point deficit.
Absolutely. Way back in the middle school days for me when I played basketball, we had a motto that was one and done or none, which means either give them one shot and they're done or just none at all. And a good job right there, the Rebels doing that.
Good job of Barnesville doing that too, and I'm surprised that he got through the defenders. I'm surprised he got the shot, and I'm surprised he didn't get fouled on that play.
Man, he's just slippery out there. He's like trying to catch some mercury on a china plate with chopsticks right there. Just hard to get your hands on him. Slippery and elusive. Nice bucket right there from, not Hang, Adam Tonsfeld. Back with Adabelli now, here's Bitker. Bitker tries a three, and he knew he hit that one as soon as it was out of his hands right there. You can see him start to run away a little bit. Loving the confidence from Logan Bitker right there, and it's a 6-point game.
Long
Tonsfeld off the mark, rebound goes out to Leach. Tonsfeld trying to answer right there, and that's just that mentality of a score right there. You see someone hit a three, and you're like, hey, I can do that too. Just unfortunately for Barnesville, can't quite get it to go in.
One of the things that I'm kind of impressed by Adam Tonsfeld is his confidence to take those deep threes. Not a lot of coaches will give their players the green light to take a shot that deep, and that's not the case with number 5 there for the Trojans.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, that green light, yeah. See a lot of coaches, even at higher levels, even like college and the NBA, you see the depth of some of the threes, and the coaches aren't exactly pleased with that, but if you can hit them more often than not, that's going to be an open look, and a coach is never going to get mad at you taking an open shot if it's high enough percentage, and I think with the case of a guy like Tonsfeld, it certainly is.
Yeah, like I said, anything within 25 feet is high percentage for Adam Tonsfeld. So.
Right on. Corner 3 on the way. Nice rebound there from Wang. And it looked like he might have stepped out.
I think that's what the ref said, yeah. He was kind of swaying backwards as he's throwing that pass out to the far wing, and his foot crossed the line before the ball left his hand, and that drew the whistle.
Back now with Barnesville out in the corner, it's Nielsen. And Tonsfeld trying to take it inside. Good defense to poke it away. Barnesville will stick with it as referee blows his whistle. And I believe that's going to be a foul call on Schreider. It is. So that'll be his first personal. And I believe that's team foul number 7, and it is. So Barnesville in the bonus now as Tonsville hits the first free throw.
For the Trojans, number 5, Adam Tonsville.
One more to come as Barnesville breaking that 30-point mark here in the first half and make it 31. 2 for 2 from the line, so still perfect from the free throw line for the Trojans. 8 for 8 now in the game. Now here's Wang. Laying it off to Sheely. Reiber thought about the 3, he'll lay it off to Kerr. Sheely on the ball. Now back with Schreiber. DGF looking for a bucket here. Leach, nice feed inside. How about the pass and how about the finish? And one. Count the bucket and the foul for Drew Sheely.
Basket is good.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Rebels right there.
You go from an 8-point deficit to a 5-point deficit if you can connect on this free throw here for Drew Sheely, and he does.
So that could be a big shot in the arm right here for the Rebels as we approach the final stretch here in this first half. See if they can cut into this lead as they head into the locker room, but Barnesville not going to make it easy on them. Jack Nielsen taking it inside, 2 points for him.
And as I was mentioning earlier, it doesn't matter if you're 6'3" or 5'5" like Jack Nielsen is. They can get into the paint, they can score. Doesn't matter what the height of the offensive or the defensive player is on most of those occasions into the paint for Barnesville, which is definitely goes in their favor, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Offensive board, and Rebels making good of it right there. It's going to be Mason Kerr with his first 2 points of the night. We've seen a lot of offensive boards so far from the Rebels, but not a whole lot of points out of it. That's definitely a good sign for the Rebels right there to get 2 there.
Falls on the Rebels, number 12, Kobe Schreiber. That's his second.
Schreiber's going to be picking up his second foul there. Now team foul number 8. So Kraus going to be going to the line and shooting. And there you go. There's your first free throw miss of the night for the Trojans.
I won't put that into my stat book as a jinx. So it was separated just enough, I think. So
there you go. Dodged a bullet right there. Second one off the mark as well. Leach going to get the rebound. He'll bring it up for the Rebels. 2 minutes remaining here in this first half. 5-point game on our hands. And that might be about to change as Caden Adobelli is going to be going to the line.
Second personal foul, team 7. At the line to shoot 2 shots for the Rebels, number 1, team Adobelli.
First one just off the back iron right there for Adobelli.
yeah, I always say I say it in every broadcast. At least I think I do. How important getting arc on a shot is, and that, as you can see right there, that free throw had more arc than the first one. That one went in, the first one didn't, and it was more like a line drive on that first free throw.
Absolutely, and that sort of plays into the point we were talking about earlier with those shooter bounces. Well, not only do you want a lot of backspin, but arc definitely too. There's a reason they teach you from a young age to shoot it like a rainbow, as my coaches would say.
Yeah, I remember that in my grade school basketball days as well.
A little bit of throwback to higher hoops for me. It's a nice take inside right there. Mason Kerr getting another bucket. He's starting to heat up. He's got 4 now in short order. And it's just a 2-point game here. That shot off the mark. Offensive board, Inninger. Here's another mid-range for Hang. That one no good. And Leach with another rebound.
DGF with a chance to tie, and they do. They didn't even give me a chance to say what I wanted to say, but Barnesville took the lead at 4-2, and they had not given it up until just now. Now we're knotted up at 33 apiece.
Boy, and how about the bucket right there from Owen Leach, just going coast to coast and just some beautiful footwork. And there's another rebound for Leach. I haven't been keeping track of rebounds, I gotta be honest, but I gotta tell you, I might be smelling a double-double here from Leach. Leach will take it off the dribble. How about the feed inside, and Wang hanging down low, and he gets to go. That's his first 2 points. And I haven't been keeping track of assists either, but I've seen a few pretty passes from Leach as well. I don't want to say he might get a triple-double, but he has been Mr. Do-It-All so far for the Rebels. And there's a block. Altobelli with the block. DGF with the lead and the basketball. Nice tip right there from Nielsen to get it back, and we might be seeing one final shot here from Barnesville before halftime. It's 5 seconds now on the clock. Tonsfeld dribbling around trying to get some space. He gets the shot off, and that one's off the mark. So how about the flurry right there? The Rebels striking back a little bit and taking the lead going into the halftime locker room. 35-33 your score right now here on Magnitude. We've had a great first half of basketball. Sort of been the theme of tonight so far when you talk about the games that we've done here in this gymnasium.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, you could go ahead first. Okay. I was going to transition into the break.
Oh, well, yeah, and the Rebels taking their first lead of the game into halftime. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and take that break. We'll be back with our Midwest Bank halftime show right after this message from our sponsors here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Dean's Bulk Service is your convenient stop on the way to the lake. Whether you're looking for snacks, drinks, fresh rolls, bait, ice, or a clean restroom, you are able to find it all inside our friendly facilities. The Barnesville and Save and Sea stores are proud to fly the Arco gasoline brand. Dean's Bulk Service also celebrates 50 years of great service of propane, fuel, oil, and lubricants. We are always ready to deliver. Dean's Bulk Service is a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics and wishes the Barnesville Trojans the best of luck in this game and every game this sports season. Davies working left to right. They set up and damn with the two-hand slam off the alley-oop. Give the assist to Cole Hayes.
Did you miss any part of this live game broadcast? Not to worry. Magnitude's DVR feature puts instant replay instantly into your hands. Revisit a big player score, watch a delayed version of this game, and then click live at any time to return to the live broadcast. Now you don't have to miss the game-winning buzzer beater, your son's 79-yard touchdown run, or your daughter's set-sealing ace serve. Thanks for watching Magnitude Sports.
Outside Satter. Step back three, number 12. He got it! 7 in the first half and 5 so far here in the second half.
You can capture the moments and memories of this game and all of our past sports broadcasts on DVD. It makes a great gift for a parent, relative, son, or daughter. Please allow 1 to 2 weeks for standard delivery. Place your order now, quickly and easily at msportsnet.com/DVD.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Welcome back to Barnesville High School. We're here doing a matchup between Barnesville Trojans and the DGF Rebels. We got a great game in our hands right now. 35-33 your score. The visitors, the Rebels, on top here at the Midwest Bank halftime show. Going to be going over some stats now. Let's take a look at the scores in this game so far. Taking a look at first the visitors, DGF. Caden Otabelli has 1 point. 5 points on the night for Ian Mickelson. Looking at 4 points on the night for Mason Kerr. Almost said Steve Kerr there for a sec, just by force of habit. Drew Sheely's got 3 points on the night. Count up 11 for Owen Leach. He's been the leading scorer so far for the Rebels. 1 point on the night for Colby Schreiber and 2 for Justin Wang, and rounding it out, count up 8 points for Logan Bittger, bringing them to their total of, like I said earlier, 35. And then taking a look at the home team, the Trojans, the scores for them. Taking a look at Jack Nielsen, he's got himself 4 points. Cam Heng's got himself 4 points as well. Adam Tonsfeld leads all scorers for the Trojans with 11. Count up 2 points for Noah Kraus, 6 for Tate Inninger, and 6 for Caden Zenzen, who didn't play too much here in the first half. Looking at some early foul trouble for him. Be interested to see if he can get going in the second half. So, Mike, taking a look at the score, it's 33-35. What have you noticed out here so far between these two teams?
A lot of consistent basketball. DGF maybe got out to maybe a little bit of a slow start, and it's not quite the word I'm looking for here, but the Trojans were there right from the opening tip, and it took a couple of possessions for the Rebels to get into the basketball game. But since those first couple of possessions, it's been pretty much even basketball back and forth here. I think your individual scoring summarizes that. It looks like 7 players scoring for DGF, and 6 players scoring. So we have 13 players scoring, so only 10 people on the court at a time, and you have 13 people in the scorebook. And the Trojans struck first, and then the Rebels tied it at 2-2. Barnesville took the lead on that next possession down the floor, and that's where those couple at 4-2. That's where those couple of less than par possessions for DGF, to coin a golf term there, occurred. And that allowed Barnesville to creep into that 7, 8, 9-point advantage lead, but DGF would always stick right there, and they would eventually come back, and they would hit that 3 to take the lead, and they tied it up at 33. It wasn't a 3. I think it was a long 2, actually, because they tied it up at 33 and then took the lead at 35-33, and that's where we sit here at halftime. So a good basketball game here, and I think if what we saw in the first half is a prelude to the second half, I think we're in for a treat here in half number 2.
Right on there. I'm gonna not necessarily steal, but go off that golf metaphor a little bit, just to drive home your point a little bit about consistency. I think you look at that start for DGF. You might compare it to a golfer who say 3-putt on a hole, not the greatest, but they just go out, they just trust their game, they keep going out there, and then the next few holes they might birdie a few, and they're just right back in it. We saw that in the JV game. I think that speaks volumes to just the coaching of this program as well as the mental makeup of these players. And I think you talk about all the different scores as well. These are two very balanced teams, and they've got a lot of different players that can hurt you. Absolutely agree with that very much.
So I didn't keep track of turnovers here, but I don't know if you did, but I don't think there were a lot of turnovers either in that game, and that kind of kept the pace going for this game too. And the momentum kind of shifted towards the Rebels there towards the end, and that reflects in the scoreboard here at halftime. We're about 2.5 minutes away from the start of the second half. We will. Any final thoughts on the first half here before we take our next break?
Just a very fast-paced, entertaining, exciting, and clean game. I think we can only hope for more here in the second. It should be a good one.
All right. Well, with that said, we'll take a break, and we'll come back in 2 minutes here and wrap up our halftime show. Get things set for half number 2. The Rebels 35, the Trojans 33 here on Magnitude Sports. Back in a moment.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Dean's Bulk Service is your convenient stop on the way to the lake. Whether you're looking for snacks, drinks, fresh rolls, bait, ice, or a clean restroom, you are able to find it all inside our friendly facilities. The Barnesville and Save & See stores are proud to fly the Arco gasoline brand. Dean's Bulk Service also celebrates 50 years of great service of propane, fuel, oil, and lubricants. We are always ready to deliver. Dean's Bulk Service is a proud supporter of Trojan athletics and wishes the Barnesville Trojans the best of luck in this game and every game this sports season.
Davies working left to right. They set up and damn with the two-hand slam off the alley-oop. Gives the the assist to Cole Haynes.
Did you miss any part of this live game broadcast? Not to worry. Magnitude's DVR feature puts instant replay instantly into your hands. Revisit a big player score, watch a delayed version of this game, and then click live at any time to return to the live broadcast. Now you don't have to miss the game-winning buzzer beater, your son's 79-yard touchdown run, or your daughter's set-sealing ace serve. Thanks for watching Magnitude Sports.
Outside Satter. Step back three, number 12. He got it! 7 in the first half and 5 so far here in the second half.
You can capture the moments and memories of this game and all of our past sports broadcasts on DVD. It makes a great gift for a parent, relative, son, or daughter. Please allow 1 to 2 weeks for standard delivery. Place your order now, quickly and easily at msportsnet.com/DVD.
All right, welcome back here. Second half about to get underway, and I want to clarify something I said earlier in their broadcast here. I was looking through my scorebook, and it turns out Cam Hing has actually started every game that I have broadcasted from here, and I think I said that he's only started a couple. So my apologies. I was looking at the wrong player in my roster, and that was my bad. So I apologize for that. And now into the second half of play we go here with 17:50 to go.
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Should be a great second half. We have only 2 points separating these two teams and just a little under 18 minutes to decide this one. I'm excited to see how this one's going to play out. DGF back with the ball now after that turnover. It's going to be Bitker working down low, and Bitker with a tough look right there. Almost like a reverse layup, trying to throw it up behind his head right there. Almost looked like a shot you might pull out in a game of horse. And a nice take right there. Noah Kraus getting it to go. So that opens the scoring here in the second half. Kraus with 2 points. And it's back to a tie game, 35-all. Mickelson out on the perimeter. Now it's Schreiber. Down low, Wang. Now back out Mickelson. Mickelson off the mark right there, and an offensive board yet again for DGF, but stole away nicely by Tonsfeld. Tonsfeld in transition, and he draws some contact, and he'll be going to the line and shooting 2. So it's going to be foul number 1 in this half, and it's going to be going against Ian Mickelson. That'll be his first personal. And Tonsfeld will be going to the line. 2 shots coming. First one up and good, so the lead back in the hands of Barnesville now, and I get the feeling that we might be seeing a lot more lead changes here in the second half.
That's the third lead change of the game, with 2 of them going to Barnesville.
Tonsfeld making good of his foul right there, 2 for 2 from the stripe. And once again, continue to hammer this home, but fantastic free throw shooting from Barnesville. Only 2 misses so far in the game.
And that has been a theme for most of this season. I think they've only had maybe 1 or 2 games where they were under 60% for
Nice take right there from Tonsfeld in transition. Once again, looked like he had to be forced off to his left hand right there. Defense doing a good job forcing him to his left side, but weak hand, no problem.
Kind of seeing the same thing from DGF that we saw in the first half. The first 4 or 5 possessions have been kind of a little rough here for the Rebels, and hopefully they can turn that around here as they find themselves down 4. Barnesville on a 6-0 run here in the second half.
Yeah, they definitely seem to be a team that just likes to settle into the game a little bit, get a feel for it. Ball bouncing around right there. Zenzen and Wang battling down low. You're going to get Wang for a foul. That's going to be his 3rd personal, so that'll be something to watch out for now. Justin Wang, one of your starters for DGF in foul trouble. And right on cue, Wang going to be getting a breather going to the bench. And Caden Altobelli going to be checking into the game. Here's Tonsfeld off the dribble. Out with Zenzen back in the game. And a tough shot right there from Nielsen. Rebound going to go out. And there's that man again, Owen Leach. Leach behind the back trying to shake off Tonsfeld. And they're going to get a whistle before the shot. Referee heads over to the scores table. It's going to be on Tonsfeld. That'll be his second and the team's first here in the second half. So we'll have an inbound, far side. Caden Autobelli to take. Now out with Sheely. Back in the corner, Mickelson. Down low to Leach. Look at the triple team on him. Open look, 3-ball on the way. That one's in. Nice screen right there from Kobe Schreiber.
I think he was held to 1 point in the first half, and if you can get a couple more buckets, the Rebels will be right back in this one. Not that they're out of it right now, but that certainly ends that 6-0 run that we were talking about earlier.
Absolutely, and he's going to be someone to watch, see if they can get him going in the second half. Definitely a big piece of this DGF Rebels team. Tonsfeld now looking for an opening on the perimeter. He'll get the ball back. Feed inside to Zenzen, banging bodies down low. Physical defense right there. Owen Leach, and he's going to grab the board off that miss.
Well, the Barnesville coaches wanting a foul there and not getting one, as they, a matter of fact, all 4 of them, I believe, stood up on their feet in disbelief.
Definitely been a physical game so far, though. I'd say that's fairly consistent with how the referees have called it. They'll definitely call the obvious ones, but for the most part, just let them play. And they'll get a foul that time, though.
They're not going to let them play that time.
Certainly a lot easier to call to make right there. And that's going to be Autobelli's first. And Jack Nielsen going to the line now. Money on the first.
Once again, I want to take this moment to thank our sponsors, Midwest Bank in Barnesville, along with Dean's Bulk Service and the Barnesville Takedown Clubs, proudly supporting the wrestling broadcast for the Trojans here on Magnitude Sports, and wishing the other Trojan athletic teams the best of luck. And we also want to welcome our friends from Dilworth, Glyndon, Felton, watching and cheering on the Rebels, whether it's on Magnitude, on our Facebook, or if it's on the DGF YouTube channels. We are simulcasting this game to the DGF YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Glad to have you guys.
Many options to watch in case you need to text some friends. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Big bucket right there for the Rebels.
Wow. Just like the fries at the bottom, he is in his bag right now. Leach going to be going to the line off an and one.
I'm going to steal that one from you, Eric. I love that.
Leach at the line with a chance to tie.
Unless there's too much salt on those fries at the bottom. then we're knotted up at 41. How about that?
Kraus driving inside, drawing a double team. Quick firing passes by the Trojans here. Open look for Tonsfeld. That one short. Nice offensive board by Hang. And ball bouncing around. Looks like it's going to be off of Cam Hang. So the Rebels will get the ball back here in a tie game. Looks like a substitution for them as well. Looks like Mason Kerr going to be coming into the game. And off comes Drew Sheely. So a change there for the Rebels.
Mason Kerr, a 6'2" junior guard for Dilworth, Glyndon, Felton. That's Mickelson with the three-point attempt. It won't go.
Good rebound right there by Zenzen. Tonsfeld bringing it up in transition and drawing some contact.
By Leach, or?
I think they might have called the foul before the block there, but man, that would have been sub-blocked by Leach had that play stood. Just a little bit of extra insurance right there to make sure he doesn't get the and one. Two more free throws coming from Tonsfeld as he cans the first. So another lead change right there. Barnesville back with the lead. And it's a 2-point lead as Tonsfeld hits his second. Tonsfeld now 4 for 4 from the line here just in the second half alone. 6 for 6 from the line for the game. So you talk about the great three-point shooting from Adam Tonsfeld. Well, he's just as good from the free throw line.
He's a really good multi-sport athlete, too. I mean, he's just an all-around good athlete. Then doesn't matter which team he's playing for, he's going to score points.
And And there's another lead change, so a bit of a seesaw action here to start this second half. Caden Altobelli, three-pointer. That's 4 points on the night for him now, and Zenzen, nice answer down low. That's his first points in a while. Now 8 on the night for him. 45-44 your score in a seesaw affair between these two teams. Mickelson. Now out with Kerr. And couldn't quite see what the referee signaled. I do know it's going to be Trojan basketball here. And it looked like the Rebels were none the too pleased, at least a few of the players on the court. But did not quite catch what it was, but regardless, it's back with the team in purple. Nearly a steal right there by Leach. I think he came in a little bit too hot. So that'll be a foul on him. That's his second. And the team's 5th already, so something to watch out here. Barnesville already knocking on the door of the bonus here in the second half, and they've been doing an excellent job at the free throw line, so you have to imagine if they do get in the bonus, they could really do some damage.
Normally you don't say this with a person that has 2 fouls, but Owen Leach needs to be careful because, yes, he does only have 2 fouls, but he's gotten those 2 fouls in the last 30 seconds here.
Very good observation.
Back-to-back trips down the floor. That block from behind, and then the reach in, and now the basket here, and all 3 of those things that I mentioned, including this basket here, playing a critical role in this lead change and lead build for Barnesville right now.
Yeah, you talk about a game of momentum swings. Well, this could be a key moment in the game right here if Barnesville can keep this up. How about the and one from Kraus? And he converts it as well from the line. So Kraus now with 5 points in the half, and it's 48-44. Biggest lead in a while for either team in this game. Kerr back out to Bitker, back to Kerr, back to Bitker.
Say that 3 times fast.
Sold away right there. Nice defense from Barnesville. Here's Tonsfeld. And he'll reset up at the top. Out in the corner, open look for Nielsen. Nielsen just off the mark. Rebound goes out to Bitker. Here's Caden Altobelli. Altobelli tries a 3, hierarchying off the mark. Rebound goes out to Zenzen. Hansfeld, nice crossover. Tough shot right there, won't fall. Bit of a battle between teammates right there for the board. Thankfully for the Rebels, able to end up in their hands.
A basket here for the Rebels would be huge, as neither team has scored on the last couple trips down the court, and they got just what they needed.
There you go, exactly. Mason Kerr using that backboard on a little turnaround, chipping into that lead back to a 1-possession game. Good work by Zenzen down low. How about the fundamentals in the post game for Caden Zenzen? Boy, that just really jumps out when you watch him play, and he could get a lot of buckets from that.
I'm surprised that he didn't get dizzy on that play there. He did a lot of spinning down low.
Makes me a little dizzy just watching. Foul right there. Looks like we're going to have a substitution. It looks like Zach Bredman, the man who did a lot of damage in the JV game, going to be checking in now for the varsity game for the Trojans. Donning the number 1 now. Of course, Jack Nielsen rocking the number 2 in seniority. Nielsen being a junior, Bredman the freshman. But I don't think Bredman cares, as he still gets to step onto the court here in some varsity action.
Yeah, and I think, did you say he was a freshman? Is that what you told?
Right on.
Yeah, the Rebels need to not underestimate that freshman there in the JV game. He had, I think, at least 6 or 7 3-pointers in that JV game. So he can definitely shoot the ball, and they need to keep his eye on him.
Yeah, and I talked about seeing Suter in the previous varsity game. Well, we saw Bredman in that one too, and Bredman himself had a few buckets. Talking about buckets, Logan Binder getting back in the score sheet here in the second half. And how about a 3-pointer to do it? Back to a 1-point game.
Well, they got Bredman in the corner here, and he was open for a moment until Mason Kerr stepped up on him.
And that's definitely one of his spots right there, that corner.
Tonsville to try.
Boy, you just get the feeling he gets that much space, he's going to pull the trigger every single time, making the defense pay right there. And how about the second half from Tonsville as well? Second effort not falling right there for Bitker as Zenzen grabs the board. Tonsville laying it off to Kraus. And a nice save right there by Tonsville.
Go ahead.
Looked like he might have been looking for Bredman there, but Tonsville able to recover. Bredman will try a three from the corner. That one just a bit too hard.
They're going to call it travel. I do, or did they call it foul? I was behind the referee's back. I think he circled his hands.
Say, it looked like there was enough arm movement from this angle that he was giving the travel signal.
Well, bucket here is huge, and as we hit 8.5 to go, DGF is going to have to start thinking about defensive rebounds on the other end of the court and making sure that they get the offensive board down here, and they will get the possession arrow on this one, on this occasion as well.
How about the freshman guard in a tie-up right there with the 6'1" Logan Bitker. Bitker has got, if I do some quick math here, about 7 or 8 inches on Bredman, but able to get a tie-up with him. That's impressive stuff.
Oh, everything but the basket for Owen Leach. Tough break there for DGF. But nice response.
And one right there, so a bit of a happy accident, as Bob Ross would say. And they're going to be going to the line and shooting one more, chance to get to a 1-point game here.
At the line for the Rebels, number 1, Keaton Altobelli.
Altobelli having a strong second half here. And he converts the and one. Those 6 points for him in the second half. 53-52 your score, just back to a 1-point game as we near the 8-minute mark here in the second half. Hank swinging around to Kraus. And maybe a bit too much defense right there from Bitker, trying to get his hand in there. That's going to be foul number 4 on him, so got to be really careful now. Have to imagine he's going to be coming to the bench here in this substitution as he's in foul trouble. We have a timeout as well, so we're going to take a quick timeout, get a message from our sponsors, and be right back right after this.
Dean's Bulk Service is your convenient stop on the way to the lake. Whether you're looking for snacks, drinks, fresh rolls, bait, ice, or a clean restroom, you are able to find it all inside our friendly facilities. The Barnesville and Save & See stores are proud to fly the Arco gasoline brand. Dean's Bulk Service also celebrates 50 years of great service of propane, fuel, oil, and lubricants. We are always ready to deliver. Dean's Bulk Service is a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics and wishes the Barnesville Trojans the best of luck in this game and every game this sports season.
You didn't like the call? Please remember the officials on the court and the field have the best view of the action as it happens. More officials are needed. People like you. Stay connected to the game you love. Contact the NDHSAA, MSHSL, or your local high school to find out how to become an official. This message courtesy of Magnitude Sports.
All right, welcome back. Live on Magnitude Sports, live on the Magnitude Facebook page, and live on the DGF Schools YouTube channel. It's Mike Mason alongside Eric Tiansen. 53-52, 8:01 to go here in the second half of play. And coming out of the timeout is Caden Zenzen at the free throw line.
Off the mark right there on the 1-and-1 as you take a look. Already 8 team fouls here on DGF, so already the bonus for Barnesville, and we could be looking at the double bonus as well.
It's very important for DGF to stay within 1, if not take the lead here, considering they have 8 fouls and Barnesville has 3.
Yeah, definitely the difference in fouls could be a massive factor in this game here. And when I talk about fouls, there's another one right there.
Foul on the Rebels, number 20, Justin Lang. That's his 4th personal foul, team's 9.
And And now Wang with 4 fouls. So DGF with 2 players with 4 fouls, just both 1 away from fouling out here. Wang missed the first free throw.
And as I was mentioning a couple minutes ago, with about as we just reached inside the 9-minute mark, it was getting time for DGF to start thinking about snagging those defensive boards, and they got one right there. Because if they don't, time's going to become more of an enemy and less of a friend.
That's an excellent point you make right there. Not only do you risk giving up second chance points, but you risk losing about 10 to 15 seconds off the clock as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Here's Leach. Back now with Schreiber. He'll fire a cross-court pass, gonna find Altobelli. Schreiber to Mickelson. Now back with Leach. 7 minutes remaining here in this second half. Looking for an opening is DGF. Have not quite been able to find one yet. Good defensive possession for Barnesville. Leach will pull up. Off the mark right there. Good rebound from Tonsfeld. Battling down low with Mason Kerr.
On that particular possession for DGF, you got to think about the fact that there's no shot clock here, and Barnesville's burning their energy, keeping that defense up, and the only thing DGF is doing is passing the ball. You would have to think that goes in DGF's favor, at least some.
Absolutely, and a whistle coming in a little bit late right there, much to the dismay of the DGF bench and student section and a few of the players as well. Looked like he might have been out of bounds. Tough to tell from this vantage point right here, all the way on the other side of the court. I'd have to imagine that referee over there has a better view than I do, though. And a foul going to be called right there. Zenzen going up.
So that's 10 now on DGF, and double bonus time here for the Trojans.
Also worth noting that is the 3rd foul on Leach, so you talk about that's now 3 fouls not only in the game but in the second half for him. Zenzen making good of his first free throw. And rattles home the second as well, so better the second time around for Caden Zenzen. Remember last time he was 0 for 2 at the line, but this time 2 for 2. And it's a 3-point lead now as we approach the 6-minute mark here in the second half. Altobelli, cross-court pass, good save right there from Schreiber. As the ball bounces around, it looks like it's gonna stay here with the Rebels as it went out of bounds off of a Trojan.
They say the worst lead in hockey is a 2-goal lead, and with 6 minutes to go in a basketball game, the worst lead to have in a basketball game is a 2-possession lead. Right now, they need to score a bucket here.
Right on.
And they will get a turnover instead. And they'll get it right back, so no harm done in that particular exchange. And just a not-so-great pass there, as they had a golden opportunity to just set the offense up, maybe pass it around, see if they can get a look at an open shot, but instead they're a little bit too trigger-happy, toss the ball into the fan section, and gives the ball back to Barnesville now with 5:41 to go. It's a 3-point game, and if Barnesville scores, that's huge on this next possession. We'll take a timeout. Be back after this here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Dean's Bulk Service is your convenient stop on the way to the lake. Whether you're looking for snacks, drinks, fresh rolls, bait, ice, or a clean restroom, you are able to find it all inside our friendly facilities. The Barnesville and Save & Sea stores are proud to fly the Arco gasoline brand. Dean's Bulk Service also celebrates 50 years of great service of propane, fuel, oil, and lubricants. We are always ready to deliver. Dean's Bulk Service is a proud supporter of Trojan athletics and wishes the Barnesville Trojans the best of luck in this game and every game this sports season.
Welcome back to Barnesville High School. 5:41 remaining on the clock, and it's a 3-point game. The home team, the Trojans, up over the visiting Rebels 55-52 your score. Been a bit of a back and forth affair in this one. And be interested to see how it plays down here down the stretch. One important note, I know we mentioned this earlier, but Barnesville in the double bonus already, and they've got plenty of time left. And they've got the basketball here as well. Let's see what they can do with it here on this possession. Tonsfeld to Bredman. Hang back to Tonsfeld. Good pass out in the corner, off the dribble. Nice jumper right there, and Zach Bredman getting on the board. So a nice bucket right there for the freshman, and there you go. Like you mentioned, a bucket would go a long way for Barnesville, and they get it from Bredman.
This would go a long way for DGF had that one gone in too, but probably now you got this opportunity for Barnesville to get a 3-possession lead here as we sneak inside 5 minutes to go, and that could be bad news for the Rebels.
Bredman on the board too. Bredman will try corner 3. That one a bit short. And the rebound goes out to Mason Kerr. Heads up from him. You can see him stop a little bit, check to see if his feet were in bounds or not. He was pretty close to that baseline. But of course he was in bounds, and it's back with the Rebels. Take inside, you could hear calls for travel from the Barnesville bench, but they're gonna say a foul. Looks like he got hit on the head on the way up. So Ian Mickelson's gonna be going to the line and shooting too, looking for his first points here in the second half. And they'll have to wait a little bit. His first one's off the mark. Drew Sheely coming back into the game for the Rebels as well. And free throw number 2 coming from Mickelson. And he got it, rattles it home. So now a 4-point game, 57-53 your score. Here's Tonsfeld. Nielsen taking it inside, trying to go all the way, and he does. Jack Nielsen, nice bucket right there. And back up to that 6-point lead for Barnesville. Nice take off the dribble from the guard. That one's for 3 off the mark. Nice rebound, Leach in the putback. Owen Leach with a big bucket right there. DGF just hanging in there right now. They've taken a few punches, but they've thrown a few back as well. Interested to see if either team can land a haymaker here. Looks like we have a timeout. Barnesville taking the timeout. We'll take a quick timeout as well, get a message from your sponsor, and be right back right after this.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Dean's Bulk Service is your convenient stop on the way to the lake. Whether you're looking for snacks, drinks, fresh rolls, bait, ice, or a clean restroom, you are able to find it all inside our friendly facilities. The Barnesville and Save & See stores are proud to fly the Arco gasoline brand. Dean's Bulk Service also celebrates 50 years of great service of propane, fuel, oil, and lubricants. We are always ready to deliver. Dean's Bulk Service is a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics and wishes the Barnesville Trojans the best of luck in this game and every game this sports season.
Welcome back. Ready to get it started here coming out of this timeout. And it's back up top with Nielsen. Take inside for Zenton. He's going to draw a foul.
Foul on the Rebels, number 1, Caden Altabelli. That's his 3rd personal.
Altabelli picking up his 3rd personal.
For the Trojans, number 24.
So those fouls just continue to pile up for DGF. That's certainly been one of these stories here in this game. Sends in with the first one up and in.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think 7 is the biggest lead Barnesville has had in this game. And right now, they're knocking on the door of having it for the second time.
Well, it sure sounds about right. You mentioned during break, I believe you said 10, was it 10 lead changes and 6 ties?
A total, a combined of 10 lead changes and ties in this game, with 6 of those coming in the second half.
DGF trying to add to that total right there as Mickelson gets a bucket down low. Now 60-57 as we approach the 3-minute mark here. Zenzen, nice pass off the baseline. And Glyndon with another big jumper. Boy, you are right on. Do not underestimate this freshman. That is 2 clutch mid-rangers from Zach Redmond.
That just has to be frustrating for DGF. I mean, you get within 2 or 3, and then Barnesville knocks down a 2 or a 3, and just don't. They do just enough to make sure that they keep enough gas out of the tank for DGF. And had that one gone in, the fans would have exploded.
Oh my Lord. That was a circus shot right there, and it looked good for a second, but off the mark right there. Also saw a DGF player flying in. You can see his hand slap the backboard right there, trying to block it, I think. But regardless, the Rebels are going to get the ball back here, and they could really use a bucket. They're down 7 now. They don't have a whole lot of time left.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes. You certainly got to start thinking about playing perfect and smart basketball for the remainder of this game if you want to tie and or win it at the end.
Hopefully they took notes from the JV game earlier. That's about exactly what happened. And a nice bucket right there from Mickelson. He's starting to heat up a little bit. Back-to-back jumpers from him. Tonsfeld in transition. Off the mark. And nice save from Zenzen right there. I think tough break for the Rebels right there as Sheely was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Got to tip your cap to Zenzen, though, laying out to save that ball.
That's another example of pinball basketball right there. I don't know if it's my favorite basketball or the basketball I hate the most.
It's like we're at an old arcade in the 80s right now with the pinball.
I guess if you love or hate it, depends on which team you're cheering for right now. So
I'm sure Barnesville is a big fan of pinball basketball right now. As DGF gets the ball back.
It's gone in their favor twice so far. So.
Well, another turnover right there for DGF as that pass might have just had a bit too much mustard on it. Justin Wang going to be coming back into the game down the stretch in for Sheely. Just a 5-point game here with 1:40, but you have to imagine Rebels going to have to start getting some stops and scores and quickly. Nearly got one there, but they'll reset up top with Redmond. Redmond getting a screen from Hang. Tough defense and poked away, nearly stolen from Wang. They'll reset with Tonsfeld, who takes it off the dribble. Tonsfeld falling down, and they're going to say a charge. Big time play right there. Tonsfeld with his 4th foul as well now, so he's got to be careful. Certainly talking about a game down the stretch. If they need a bucket, they might want it in his hands, and he can't do it if he's fouled out. Miscommunication on that pass right there. Dangerous and saved by Leach. Leach will try a 3. Nice rebound by Wang. That's exactly what they brought him in for. They'll swing it out. Altabelli for 3. Got it! Hayden Altabelli with a massive shot right there. Boy, what a second half from him, and it's a 2-point game with 1:03 remaining. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a fantastic finish on our hands here. Well, timeout called on the floor.
Go ahead.
Well, that's pretty much all I have.
Okay. I was going to add, I think we'll keep it here during this break. Barnesville took the lead at 45-44, and they've allowed the Rebels to stick around, but the Rebels have had, every 10 times down the court, they have maybe 3 bad possessions, and those 3 possessions out of 10 have hurt them big time because 2 out of those 3, Barnesville comes back and hits a basket to just widen the gap, to make it a little bit more frustrating for the Rebels. And right now, the Rebels kind of doing the same thing that we saw them towards the end of that first half. They're starting to gain a little bit more confidence now. You can see it in their shooting. but they also got to be careful. I think it was Leach who took the 3 from up top. If you're not confident in taking the 3, you probably shouldn't take it. They were lucky enough to get that offensive board. They kicked it out. Was it Altobelli who got that 3? When he put that shot up, I knew it was going in, and I knew it was nothing but net just by the motion of his shot. And you can tell when a shooter has confidence and when a shooter's not 100% sure if they should take the shot or not.
Rebels bringing press now. How about the navigation and the dribbling from Tonsfeld, who makes it off the glass?
Well, I'm wondering if the officials are going to stop the game here because still hearing "Eye of the Tiger." I don't know. Maybe it was just in my mind, but I'm pretty sure Tonsfeld scored that basket with music playing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was I just hearing things, or?
I think you're correct. I could hear a little bit too. I think they might have stopped it a little late, but it's going to be a foul. I think it is on Tonsfeld, and that's his 5th. So there you go. Adam Tonsfeld fouling out as Leach hitting the deck hard, and Leach going to be going to the line. Some big free throws coming here. Or look, it says 6 team fouls, so look to be in the act of shooting.
I believe you're right. We'll see if the officials agree or not. As it looks like Noah Kraus, the 5'10 junior, will check in for Adam Tonsfeld. Fouling out with 42 seconds to go and down 4. This is a huge free throw right here. And he got it.
And it's big not only because of Tonsfeld's scoring, but you saw in that last possession, he just navigates and handles the ball so well. He's just able to weave in and out of that press. Have to imagine DGF will bring that press again here.
And that was a smart play. You get both free throws and you pull it within 2, and then you foul Caden Zenzen.
Make him earn those points at the line. And this is exactly why those coaches will make you practice free throws at the end of practice when you're winded and when you're tired. Moments like these right here. Let's see what Zenzen's got in him from the stripe. No stranger to the free throw line here. Been seeing a lot of trips, and that one's off the mark.
Once again, that didn't have a lot of arc to it, and I say that over and over and over again. But you put arc, you're going to make the free throws. You don't, you're not.
And there you go, 0 for 2. So the door wide open for DGF here.
We'll see what Owen Leach and his teammates can do on this trip down the floor.
Mickelson to Altobelli, back to Mickelson.
The last time we were tied, the score was 41-41. And Owen Leach, couldn't quite get it there, and we have a foul. Looks like Barnesville's going to get the ball.
Yeah, it looked like he might have been onto something there with that move, but he just couldn't quite corral the ball cleanly there. Wasn't able to get probably as good of a shot off as he would have liked. Also worth noting on the possession earlier, it looked like there was an open 3 for the moment for Altobelli. That pass had to be lobbed in there because of that defensive pressure. If there wasn't that much pressure, quicker pass, you might have been able to get the shot off. Hang off the backboard, or back iron, I should say, with this first.
And that's good news for DGF because that worst case scenario, they're down 3.
And Hang misses his second. Rebound to Leach, so here we go. Timeout called on the floor, and deja vu on our hands.
12.7 seconds. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the conclusion of this one in 30 seconds.
Dean's Bulk Service is your convenient stop on the way to the lake. Whether you're looking for snacks, drinks, fresh rolls, bait, ice, or a clean restroom, you are able to find it all inside our friendly facilities. The Barnesville and Save & See stores are proud to fly the Arco gasoline brand. Dean's Bulk Service also celebrates 50 years of great service of propane, fuel, oil, and lubricants. We are always ready to deliver. Dean's Bulk Service is a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics and wishes the Barnesville Trojans the best of luck in this game and every game this sports season.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
All right, there you go. Head coach Suter talking over the likelihood of what might happen here with DGF as they have the ball down 2 with 12.7 seconds to go.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you dream of right here.
And we just called another timeout. So we got to wait for the conclusion a little bit longer here. I think we'll just keep it here for this break here. But I don't know if you overheard it, but I kind of overheard what Mr. Suter was saying to the Trojans. I couldn't. DGF bench a little bit further away. What do you think the plan is here for the Rebels?
Well, that's funny you ask, because I was about to ask you who you'd have who'd you try and draw up for the final shot. If I'm the Rebels, I'm gonna try and get it to Ottobelli. He has been red hot here in the second half. You look at 2 3-pointers. If you want to go that route, that is a little risky, and I know we talked about this in the JV game. Going for the 2 might be the safer bet. But regardless, Ottobelli's been red hot. He's been super confident scoring the basketball. If I'm DGF, I'm going to try and get him the ball here on this final possession. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think on the defensive side of the ball here for the Trojans, usually if a team's down 3 late, one of the options that gets thrown on the table is drive in for the lane and try and get the and one opportunity here. And I think defensively, that's exactly what the Trojans don't want to do is foul. Because worst case scenario, DGF would tie it up. Game would go to overtime. If you foul, they might win it at the free throw line.
Well, here we go. We've got 12.7 remaining. Here is Ottobelli. Out to Wang. Back with Ottobelli. Now 6 to shoot. Rebels got to get a shot off here. Wang was wide open. He's still open.
Oh.
Deep 3 off the mark, and that's going to do it.
Oh! Justin Wang wide open on the low block, and they didn't see him. And instead of taking that 3, they could have fed it down to Wang, and he would have had an easy basket, and we'd be heading into overtime. Oh, man, a missed opportunity for DGF. And a tough loss. Go for
Heartbreak for the Rebels here as they fall short to the Trojans. We have ourselves a final 66-64 your score. Barnesville picking up a massive victory here at home over DGF, and another thrilling game. I gotta say, we're now 3 for 3 today on fantastic games. Fantastic night of basketball here, and this was just truly one of the best games that I think that I've done here so far with my time. Boy, that was a blast.
Well, we'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll head to our post-game show, add up some numbers, we'll select the Midwest Bank player of the game, and we'll wrap it up with our final thoughts here after this timeout on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Dean's Bulk Service is your convenient stop on the way to the lake. Whether you're looking for snacks, drinks, fresh rolls, bait, ice, or a clean restroom, you are able to find it all inside our friendly facilities. The Barnesville and Save & See stores are proud to fly the Arco gasoline brand. Dean's Bulk Service also celebrates 50 years of great service of propane, fuel, oil, and lubricants. We are always ready to deliver. Dean's Bulk Service is a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics and wishes the Barnesville Trojans the best of luck in this game and every game this sports season.
Davies working left to right. They set up and damn with the two-hand slam off the alley-oop. Give the assist to Cole Haynes.
Did you miss any part of this live game broadcast? Not to worry. Magnitude's DVR feature puts instant replay instantly into your hands. Revisit a big player score, watch a delayed version of this game, and then click live at any time to return to the live broadcast. Now you don't have to miss the game-winning buzzer beater, your son's 79-yard touchdown run, or your daughter's set sealing ace serve. Thanks for watching Magnitude Sports.
Outside Satter. Step back 3, number 12. He got it! 7 in the first half and 5 so far here in the second half.
You can capture the moments and memories of this game and all of our past sports broadcasts on DVD. It makes a great gift for a parent, relative, son, or daughter. Please allow 1 to 2 weeks for standard delivery. Place your order now, quickly and easily at msportsnet.com/DVD.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
All right, welcome back here to Barnesville High School. Mike Mason alongside Eric Tianson here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network, also broadcasting live on the DGF Schools YouTube channel. We want to thank the Rebel fans for watching tonight's game. Before we get into numbers and stats, I mean, there's a lot of things that you could say went wrong for the Rebels in this game, and I don't mean that in a negative way, because a lot of things went right, and then the things that went wrong, you know, they go wrong for all teams that play the game of basketball. But man, if just one of those things would have went right, they could have afforded that mistake at the end there where they had Justin Wang down at the end, and he was wide open. He could have easily kissed it in off the glass and sent this game to overtime. But man, that one, that one's gonna stick. That's gonna stick in my memory for a while. And I don't know if there's another play in this game that is burned into my memory like that one is. Would you agree, or do you have a different perspective?
No, I agree 100%. That's just a tough loss right there. And I like how you mentioned that there are a few things that just didn't quite go DGF's way, where maybe they could have afforded that at the end. You know, this loss is going to be a real test. I'm going to be really interested to see how DGF rebounds from this loss, because there's still a lot of season left, and they're still right in the thick of things here. I think certainly look at the way they hung in the game. I certainly think they have it in them to bounce back, but definitely going to be something to watch down the road the rest of the season for this Rebels basketball team.
Well, the Trojans would strike first, and then DGF would tie it up at 2-2. Barnesville would take the lead at 4-2, and then the Rebels started to have a couple of, as I think I mentioned towards the, I don't remember if I mentioned it in halftime or if I mentioned it late in the second half, but it seemed like every 10 trips down the floor, the Rebels had 3 bad possessions that really hurt them when Barnesville came back and hit a basket. And that was the case there. Once Barnesville took that 4-2 lead, they held on to it, but the Rebels were able to stick around and eventually tie the game at 33-33, and then DGF would take, I don't remember who took the shot, but they hit the shot to take the lead 35-33. That would end up being our halftime score. Barnesville would strike first in the second half to tie it at 35, and then I think Barnesville went to the free throw line after that to take the 36-35 lead. We would be tied again at 41. Barnesville would take the lead back on the next possession at 42-41, and then Dilworth, Glyndon, Felton actually came back and hit a three-pointer to make it 44-43. Barnesville took the lead at 45-44, and that would be the final lead change of the game as they would cruise forward to the 66-64 victory. Taking a look at individual numbers, what do you got there for us, Eric?
Well, let's start off with the visiting team, the Rebels. Taking a look at Caden Otabelli with a strong second half. He finished with 10 points. 10 points also for Ian Mickelson. 6 points on the night for Mason Kerr. 3 on the night for Drew Sheely. 18 leading the scoring for the Rebels with Owen Leach. Also looking at Colby Schreiber, had himself 4 points. and Justin Wang 2 points, and at the rounding things out, 11 points for Logan Bitker. And then taking a look at the Barnesville Trojans, Zach Bredman with 4 big points coming off the bench here in the second half. Jack Nielsen finished with 8 points, 4 points for Cam Hang, a game-high 22 for Adam Tonsfeld, 7 for Noah Kraus, 6 for Tate Inninger, and 13 for Caden Zenzen.
All right, and taking a look at the upcoming schedule here for the Rebels, they'll have a tough matchup here on Thursday against the Detroit Lake Lakers, and things won't get any easier as well as they will have Breckenridge on March 8th. And then Pelican Rapids, I skipped over them by mistake. They have a matchup with Pelican Rapids on March 4th. And Pelican Rapids sitting at 6-6 right now, pending the outcome of this evening's game. They'll either go to 6-7 or 7-6. So the Detroit Lakes, Pelican Rapids, and then they have a tough task with the Breckenridge Cowboys. And then Frazee, and then they'll have another tough task with Perham. And then they meet up with Barnesville again on the end of the regular season. This one will be a home game for the Rebels to end the season. So on Monday, March 15th, Barnesville goes to DGF, and that will be the final game of the regular season. Coming up here for the Trojans, they'll have a game on Thursday. It was originally against Norman County Eastview and Hitterdal, but that game was canceled, and Moorhead stepped in, so they will host the Moorhead Spuds. Eric, I think, if I'm wrong, the schedule will prove me wrong, but I think you're here for that game.
That is correct, and I'm excited.
So the Moorhead Spuds, that should be a good one, and then there's 2 matchups in the Heart of Lakes that I always look forward to the most, and it's whenever Breckenridge, Perham, and Barnesville meet up in a matchup. One of those 3 teams meet up in a matchup. That's a game that I want to be at. That's a game that anybody else should want to be at because those teams always battle it out to the end. Kind of like this one here, and this one was a really good example of that. But once again, Breckenridge is going to be a tough test here for the Barnesville Trojans. That game is here live on Magnitude on Friday, March 5th. Then they go on the road to take on the West Central Area Knights and then back home for a doubleheader against the Holly Nuggets and Detroit Lake Lakers. And then, as I mentioned, when we were looking at the Rebels schedule, they'll finish out the regular season on the road at Dilworth, Glyndon, Felton. And then it's tournament time. We'll have, for the girls, we don't know matchups and seedings, just the official seedings and matchups just yet, but we do have dates and times for you. Did my phone die? Yeah, no, it didn't, but I'll say that it did because if I try and look up the times, it might die. So we'll say unofficially that it died. But the girls will have a pigtail game on March 15th, and then the play-in game would be on March 17th. The quarterfinals would be on the March 19th, and the semifinals would be on March 23rd, and that is for the girls. And on the 15th, 17th, 19th, and 23rd, all those games are at the home venue of the higher seed, in contrast to how they used to be at Concordia College in years prior to this. And then the championship game, or the section final, will be on March 25th at a neutral site that is yet to be determined. For the boys, they'll have the pigtail on the 15th, just like the girls do, and then they're a day later on all their other games. They'll have the play-in game on March 18th, the quarterfinal on March 20th, the semifinal on March 24th, and once again, all those at the home venue of the higher seed. And then the neutral site championship section final will be on March 26th for the Barnesville Trojans, and we will follow the girls and boys Barnesville Trojans into the postseason. As long as they are home games. If they are road games, we'll have to dig into our resources and get extra permissions granted before we can do that. But if you bookmark our schedule tab on our website, msportsnet.com, you can keep up to date with all the upcoming Barnesville Trojan games for the remainder of the regular season, as well as heading into the postseason. As soon as we know who they're playing, it'll be on our website, and you can find out as well. Let's see, a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 ties and lead changes in the first half, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let me try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lead changes and ties in the second half. We had 1, we were tied at 2, tied at 33, tied at 41, and so we had 1, 2, 3 and we're tied at 35 too. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 ties, and then we had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lead changes, with 4 of those 6 lead changes going to Barnesville at 4-2, 36-5, 42-41, and 45-44 would be the final lead change, and Barnesville would cruise on to the 66-64 win. We're going to take one more timeout. We'll come back in 30 seconds and select our Midwest Bank Player of the Game in 30 seconds here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
All right, welcome back. Once again, your final score here in this one, the Barnesville Trojans 66 and the Dilworth Glyndon Felton Rebels 64. Time now to select the Midwest Bank Player of the Game. And, there's a couple people that we have your eyes on. You could almost go in a losing effort here. Owen Leach with 18 points for the Rebels. I believe he led for the Rebels, if that's the case. They had a couple others in double figures. So honorable mention to Owen Leach in a losing effort for Midwest Bank Player of the Game. But Eric, you have the stat book in front of you. You kept track of things. You might have the better answer for us.
Well, I'm going to go with our Midwest Bank Player of the Game, going to be Adam Tonsfeld. He was just mesmerizing today. First game back from injury, too, important to note. Finished with a game-high 22 points. Had a few pretty passes there as well. Did a great job navigating that zone defense that they played, as well as the press later on. Just a spark plug for this team all season long. Tonight was no exception. Congrats to Adam Tonsfeld. He's your player of the game.
All right, and now wrap it up for us here from Barnesville. Once again, Adam Tonsfeld, your player of the game, and that is our janitor sneaking into the camera there. And so he wanted to say hi, and so wave back at him. He's right there. There we go. He's a good guy. We like him. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up. Your final score, 66-64. The Trojans hang on for a 2-point win, led by Adam Tonsfeld for 22 and 18 for Owen Leach for the Rebels, your 2 leaders. We'll be back here tomorrow with wrestling. Barnesville will take on, let's see here. Let's go to our schedule and find out who they take on. They take on Minnewaska and Otter Tail Central. There it is. And then we'll have Eastern Dakota Conference tournament basketball for you as well. West Fargo Packer girls host the Shanley Deacons. West Fargo Packer boys host the Grand Forks Central Knights. And then Eric, you'll be in Perham taking on the Battle of the Bees, the Hornets and the Yellow Jackets there. So we'll have a whole bunch of basketball and wrestling action for you here tomorrow on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. For Eric, my name's Mike. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. You have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Barnesville, West Fargo, and Perham here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
The proceeding has been a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Media Network. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and to order a DVD copy of this broadcast, simply visit msportsnet.com/DVD.